Welcome to Hollywood World. In this video, we are going to uncover the heartbreaking fates of 12 beloved Golden Age actors who, despite once dazzling on the silver screen, died penniless and forgotten. These stars were once household names, gracing the covers of magazines and starring in box office hits. But behind the glamour and fame was a harsh truth. Many were chewed up and spat out by the very industry that once praised them. Some faced financial ruin due to poor investments, others were victims of addiction, exploitation, or Hollywood's brutal ageism. One of the stories in this list is especially devastating, and it just might break your heart. So stay tuned as we journey through the untold tragedies of 12 classic stars who remind us that fame is fleeting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video to support more true Hollywood stories. Let's begin. 1. Bobby Driscoll. Once Disney's golden boy, Bobby Driscoll was the voice of Peter Pan and starred in hits like Treasure Island. He was a rising child star and even won a Juvenile Academy Award in 1950. But fame was not kind to Bobby. As he grew older, Hollywood no longer found him marketable. By age 16, Disney let him go. He spiraled into drug use, petty crime, and obscurity. In 1968, at just 31 years old, his body was found in an abandoned New York building. No ID, no one claimed him. He was buried in an unmarked pauper's grave. Disney never publicly acknowledged his tragic end. His story is one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking. 2. Marie Prevost. A flapper-era beauty, Marie Prevost was a major silent film star, appearing in hits like The Marriage Circle. But the arrival of talkies and personal struggles wrecked her career. Marie turned to alcohol and fell into deep depression. Unable to find roles, she lived in isolation and poverty. By 1937, she was found dead in her Los Angeles apartment, malnourished and alone, her only companion, a starving dog. She was 40. Her death led to the Motion Picture Relief Fund, which aimed to support aging and destitute actors. Her tragedy wasn't in vain. 3. Elle Brendel. Once a vaudeville sensation and comedic film star of the 1930s, Elle Brendel made a fortune impersonating Swedish immigrants. He starred in Fox's early talkies, including Just Imagine, but by the 1940s, audiences had moved on. Brendel never adapted to the changing industry and made very little money later in life. When he died in 1964, he was nearly broke and forgotten by the industry. Despite once being one of the highest-paid comedians, he passed without fanfare. 4. Florence Lawrence. Known as the first movie star, Florence Lawrence was one of the earliest actors to receive billing and public recognition. She appeared in over 300 films and became a household name before 1920. But her career declined with the rise of the studio system, and bad business decisions left her penniless. She opened a cosmetics shop and even invented an early version of the car turn signal, but was never credited. By the 1930s, she was destitute. In 1938, at age 52, she committed suicide in her apartment in Hollywood. A tragic ending for the woman who helped invent celebrity. 5. John Gilbert. Known as the great lover of silent cinema, John Gilbert starred opposite Greta Garbo and was MGM's heartthrob in the 1920s. But when sound films arrived, rumors spread that his voice didn't suit the new medium, though it wasn't true. Studio politics, especially clashes with MGM mogul Louis B. Mayer, helped ruin his career. Gilbert turned to alcohol and faded into obscurity. He died of a heart attack at 38 in 1936. MGM covered some of his burial costs. A Hollywood giant brought low by power struggles and personal demons. 6. Tom Neal. Best known for his role in the film noir classic Detour, Tom Neal's career showed promise. But his hot temper and volatile behavior destroyed it. After violently attacking fellow actor Frank Tone over a love triangle with actress Barbara Payton, Neal was blacklisted. He became a gardener and handyman to survive. In 1965, he was convicted of manslaughter after killing his third wife. He spent 6 years in prison and died in 1972, broke, disgraced, and completely forgotten by Hollywood. 7. Misha Auer. A beloved character actor, Misha Auer was Oscar-nominated for My Man Godfrey and became a staple of screwball comedies. But fame was fleeting. After World War II, his roles dried up. He performed in dinner theaters and television just to make ends meet. Despite working well into the 1960s, he never recaptured his earlier success. Auer died in 1967 in Rome, virtually penniless. His comedic genius was largely forgotten by then, though his work remains a gem of classic Hollywood. 8. William Haynes. One of MGM's top stars in the 1920s, William Haynes was a box office favorite known for his comedic charm. But Haynes was openly gay in a time when Hollywood demanded conformity. When given the ultimatum to enter a fake marriage or leave MGM, Haynes chose to stay with his partner. His film career ended almost overnight. Though he later found success as an interior designer, Haynes lived with financial uncertainty for many years. His brave refusal to compromise made him a quiet pioneer, but one who paid dearly. 9. Patsy Kelly. A comic actress of the 1930s and 1940s, Patsy Kelly was hilarious, quick-witted, and proud of her identity in an era that wasn't kind to women or queer people. Her brash attitude and refusal to play by Hollywood's rules made her a difficult hire. Offers dried up by the 1950s, and she struggled financially. Though she had a minor resurgence in the 70s, Kelly never saw lasting wealth. She died in 1981 after years of living modestly in a small apartment, brilliant but overlooked. 10. Wallace Reed. Dubbed the screen's most perfect lover, Wallace Reed was the golden boy of silent cinema. He was handsome, charming, and hugely popular. But behind the scenes, Reed was battling a morphine addiction brought on by an on-set injury. Studios kept him working, fearing the financial loss if he went to rehab. By 1923, he was dead at just 31. While technically not penniless, Reed's life was consumed and discarded by a profit-driven studio system that prioritized image over health. 11. Dolores Hart. Dolores Hart had it all: a promising career, a kiss from Elvis Presley, and a string of leading roles in the early 1960s. But at the height of her fame, she walked away from Hollywood to become a Roman Catholic nun. Though not destitute in the traditional sense, Hart gave up wealth, luxury, and stardom to live in spiritual poverty. Her story is unique, a conscious choice to trade glamour for faith. She's still alive today, living a quiet life in a Connecticut abbey. Her rejection of Hollywood riches speaks volumes about what truly matters. 12. Virginia Rappe. Virginia Rappe wasn't a massive star, but she was a rising actress and model in the early 1920s. Her name became infamous due to the scandal involving Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle. Rappe died after attending a wild party hosted by Arbuckle. Though Arbuckle was eventually acquitted of rape and manslaughter, the scandal ruined both their reputations. Virginia's death was horrific. She died in agony, and rumors overshadowed her humanity. She came from poverty, struggled to survive in Hollywood, and died at just 26, without wealth, fame, or justice. She was buried in a simple grave. Her story remains one of the darkest tragedies in old Hollywood, and one of the most unjustly forgotten. And there you have it, 12 more actors from Hollywood's golden age who faced tragic endings in poverty, obscurity, or heartbreak. These stars remind us that fame is not forever, and the glittering lights of Hollywood can often cast long shadows. Whether it was due to substance abuse, cruel studio systems, blacklisting, or simply being forgotten, each of these figures paid a heavy price for their brief moment in the spotlight. One had their name erased. Another was abandoned in death. And some, like Bobby Driscoll and Virginia Rappe, never even got the dignity of a proper goodbye. Let us remember them not for how they died, but for the joy they brought on screen, the laughter, the tears, the unforgettable performances. If you'd like a part 3 to explore more untold stories from classic Hollywood, comment below. Thanks for watching Hollywood World. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more hidden Hollywood history. See you in the next video.